I'm recording. Okay, so welcome to tonight's session in the Conscious Leader. I'm very excited about what we're going to talk about. But this is the very topic that that's something that it's very important to me, to living the charged life. And this is something that we can live ordinary life. And I explain what I mean about this, but we can live the charged life and really enjoy. And so I found that really great framework that describes that. And I become even more excited because it's not only that actually identified these different types of lives for me, which I was familiar, but also gave a framework how to maintain charged life. So I hope you like it too. So first of all, I'm going to do a little bit of organizing on my screen, so I'll see you. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is taken from the book, and I hardly recommend this book. This is the book by Brendon Burchard. It's called The Charge, and it's about it's basically giving the framework, and it also gives the exercises. So it's very good for coaches, but it's also very good for someone who wants to work on themselves and sort of have more insights. So when I was preparing this, I was thinking, okay, how am I going to make it in a small presentation, such a huge topic? And I hope I've given it a justice. And specifically, I wanted to have a little bit of discussion happening here as well. So you got more engaged into that. So why charged life? And I've taken it straight from the book. Over the past 40 years, across almost every developed country in the world, the diagnosis of clinical depression has grown nearly tenfold. This, despite the fact that almost every factor we associate with well-being, food, money, education, safety, access to healthcare, is abundant in these societies. Increasingly, people are reporting feelings of restlessness, fatigue, stress that leaves them too often bored, unsure, and frustrated. So let's have a chat. What does living charged life mean to you? Who would like to share?
I can start.
Barbara, go ahead.
Actually, I was going to comment on your picture because it suggests that you were playing in the cat's role somewhere, and that was my first charged experience in Australia. I went on a business trip late at night to the Cats performance. I was so tired, I thought I wasn't going to make it through. The moment they started tuning the instruments, all my tiredness went away. And yeah, it's very vivid in my mind. It's been a good few years now.
So you live charged life.
That is charged life, yes.
Exactly, wonderful. And I made a little joke here because I actually took a lion and I put my face in the lion.
I love it.
Because I believe lions are in charge. They always relax, they're sitting there, they're not mucking around, but just looking, but they are in charge of their life. Mm-hmm. Who else would like to share? Thank you for that, Barbara.
Yeah, I'd like to share, if I may. Mm-hmm. So I look at a charged life in terms of energy. I have been looking into energy work, into chakras, and this is also why I do Qigong. And so and it's about us making sure that we keep our energy high, our frequency high. So I think to have a charged life is when you are high, when you're vibrating in a higher frequency. And also I believe when we are able to establish heart-mind coherence, when we're not only living in our head, but connecting the head with our heart. This to me is living a charged life.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it's about energy and it's about connecting with your heart. Beautiful. Who else would like to share?
I'd like to share. I think for me, a charged life is being able to live with a sense of purpose and doing something meaningful. And even though you crash into bed and you're exhausted, it's a good exhaustion, and that you know that you did good for the day, that you helped others, and that you were able to do something you love with passion and that's joyful, and you're not stuck and you're not existing, but you're living. And with freedom and courage.
Beautiful. Beautiful. With freedom of courage and with the purpose, creating a meaningful moments in life.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Who next? Who else? It's Ads, the last one.
I think in addition to what Anna was mentioning, also living a purposeful life, right? And at the same time, having that inner peace in ourselves. Because if that's the case, like you're in charge already of what's happening around you, or you're not being affected by whatever outer noise that you can have over your life. So that inner peace will just, will just take care of everything.
Beautiful. Love that. Love that. Having a peace and being able to do what you wanted to do. And quickly, I share what was charged life for me is that having choices and being able to do and have courage and confidence to follow what I want to, what I believe is right, my mission. And it also connects with the energy, because I remember probably going back 10 years ago, I felt like, gee, I feel like I have just a little bit of energy, less energy. And that's when I started to purposely looking around. And at the time I joined the network with the supplements. So I supplemented myself and I felt much more energized and able to have my choices again, keep living. Okay, so thank you for sharing. So let's just have a look what has been said by in the Brendon Burchard book. And sometimes I cut and paste, so I just took the essence. Well, what is the charged life? So have we moved from why? What is the charged life? Is life truly lived? Is not a routine existence in some picturesque village of safety and certainty? The charged life is the life worth living. And it's out there in the wilds of the unknown, testing our will in a daily fight with our own demons. Make sense? I have more kind of cut out more sentences. The charged life is an apologetic attack on boredom, distraction, mediocrity, and withdrawal. Taking charge, taking the responsibility. And the next one is very different from the kind of life that most people live, unfortunately. Not because it's unattainable, but rather because most of us haven't been shown how to manage long-term energy and engagement in life. So it's about energy and it's about engagement, meaningful purpose. So I'm here to tell you that you deserve something more. But there is a catch. To get it, you are going to have to demand more of yourself. And I'm going to switch just in case someone's coming, but no, it's no one coming. Put it here so I'll see. Okay. So I'd like to share a little poem like of my story. And I'm at the serene retreat venue surrounded by a group of high achievers and dreamers. The air is filled with palpable excitement, and I can feel the anticipation building within me. As my fingers slide to tremble with nervous energy, a quiet voice inside me assures me that the moment marks the beginning of profound transformation. My heart beats with the mixture of nerves and exhilaration as I catch a glimpse of the freedom I've yearned for so long. Over the next 7 days, I undergo profound shift and learn the most significant lessons of my life. The importance of taking charge of my destiny. Now, I'm eager to share with you the keys to creating a charged life and sustaining it for a long time. This is the key. And so I had a few similar moments, but this particular moment is that when I took the tour with some millionaires and high flyers, study tour from Australia, and we went up into property development business world in other countries. And I kind of said, okay, there is more. There is another level for me to explore. But I kind of figure out that I need to deconstruct myself. And so going back to Brendon Burchard's book, he says there are 3 lives. And I quite agree with that. It's the cage life. It's when we are trapped in a box of beliefs about what is possible for us, and we're living in expectations of others. Who's relating to that? Yeah. There is another life. Yeah, I kind of resonate because it reminds me my 21 years in the corporate, where I'm kind of trapped in a box because of other people. A comfortable life, through work and dedication and fortunate circumstance, many of us live comfortable life. But one day we hear the question in the back of our mind, is that what I really wanted? So again, I can relate to that because, I had a good life, I had a good salary, and that would provide all other things that I also wanted to do. But there was still a question, is that all what I wanted? Do you resonate with that as well from your lives? And the last one is charged life. Living a charged life means creating our own world and our own definition of what it means to live and progress. Probably that's what Anna was talking about previously. We are living our full potential and experiencing the lives we want. We are not chasing the lives of others. We are becoming more conscious on what we're doing. And if I may share, that's what I feel now. Yes, I've given up a lot of comfort, but I've gained a lot of comfort in my internal conversations with myself. And I'm glad that I took that path. So what are your thoughts right now? Anyone would like to share or anything that you just heard?
I agree with that, Yolanda, 100%. In terms of when I was at design school, and you're always thinking, oh, what if I don't succeed? And I've got massive imposter syndrome. But one of the things my educator said to me was, Anna, you do you and your people will follow. And that resonates with me. And I just stick to that. And I don't worry, like you said, about the noise.
Mm-hmm.
I just do my thing, and I don't care about metrics on Instagram and all of that. And I found that when I stopped worrying about that, my numbers actually grew. Just because I was just doing things authentically and genuinely and not stressed out about things that didn't matter. Yeah. So I just focused on my work and just growing it, but growing it organically. and not worrying about time frames, and it's just funny that my numbers are growing and I didn't really do anything except I just did me, like my Anne Marie said, it designs for you, do you. And things just happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost like a miracle, little miracles that you see here and there, and you actually think back, how did I get here? And there were a lot of miracles that get you to where you are.
Well, that's that's with those miracles. Actually, there's quite a lot of science. Is when we put our mind into things, suddenly those miracles are visible to us. And we start to living those miracles. But the other thing in relation to what you said about you do you is it is like there is more and more talk about the fact that there are 7 billion miracles out there. Everyone has the unique gift. They are just different. Everyone's different, and so everyone can bring value. And we've been conditioned previously that only there's a certain one little fraction of people that they have talents or something or other, and we believe that we can never stand up to it. But in actual fact, there's more and more evidence is showing that everyone has unique gift, and our responsibility is to discover it and share it.
I love what you said, Anna. And I think the miracles you're talking about, I call them synchronicities. I think they happen when you live in flow. The universe just provides freely the next step and the next step and the next step, and things just fall into place.
Yes.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Anyone else would like to share? Oh, we can't hear you, Barbara.
Okay, I'll say a little bit. This is very relevant, and I think it evolves as our life is it changes as our lives evolve. I think I have been dedicated to my job, my career very much. And now that I'm not working, I see the world completely different, and now my children are also far away. So I am actually creating myself. I am putting a lot of boxes in front of me, so it's not such a simple task, but it's happening slowly. So let it be charged.
Breaking out those boxes.
Yeah.
Creating new ones.
Not
I will move on unless Ed wants to share. Move on. Okay. So here we are. What means that living charged life and feeling charged means that we are engaged, we are energetic and enthusiastic. Or alternatively, we can actually, I kind of translate it into, really bringing joy to our body, spirit, and soul. So we actually allow ourselves to be fully ourselves. And I took this message that unlike the comfortable life, we want challenges that stretch our abilities. So we need to challenge, but we'll talk about this later. And here I have a few traits of charged life. So living in the moment, not living automatic life. It's about being future oriented, constantly seeking challenges and challenging ourselves, deeply interested in others, self-reliant, creatively driven, and creating a meaning. So at the next step, I'd like us to spend a few minutes and in your own space to have a little bit of reflection. And there are a couple of sentences that I want you to finish. And write it down on a piece of paper, send that message or possibly share with us. if I'm going to start experiencing the charged life, I would have to. So there's always another level of charged life. You might be living already charged life, but there's another level always. And all the traits of charges, the one I could better integrate or amplify in my life would be, and I've given you the traits of charged life just to reflect, to have the ideas. So take a couple of minutes and maybe reflect on that. Are you all ready? Okay. Who would like to share with us?
I'm happy to share because then I should go. I'm really sorry. But yeah, so I would have to be more active, more courageous, and believe 100% in myself, not only a little bit. And I would seek more challenges and move through those challenges without any fear. So, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what stops you right now?
I think I'm still too comfortable in my comfort zone. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish you could stay a little bit longer because the next step is we are going to talk about how, and maybe that would inspire your stubbornness right now.
Maybe I can stay a little bit longer. I'm curious.
Yeah. Who else would like to share? Ed?
Yeah, I think once I start experiencing the charged life, I would have to contribute more in a community environment, like devoting my time or giving more of my time freely without any charge, that can give benefit to the community or to more people. And in saying that, it's like making them feel that there is hope, or there is there is always life is always beautiful, and even just my simple words, or just inspiring through what I learned in life as well. That will be that will be a charged life for me, and at the same time giving other people maybe a simple way of starting their lives as a charged life too.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you answer for the sec? I love that. Actually, I'm very much in the same place. It's
Mm-hmm.
about giving and receiving, and
Mm-hmm.
so the things that I would love to do. So it's very similar. It's more networking in the real life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. Who
Yep.
else would like to share?
I agree with Ed. In terms of with my business, you know, I didn't ever think I would start one, and I've kind of been ticking the boxes of, you know, one day I was a sole trader, and then became a business model, and now proprietary limited. And then I'm going to grow my team, and I've done that. And one day I'm going to get a mezzanine, and I've done that. So I think, okay, what next? Like, I don't want to build an empire. I just want to do what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing, but also making sure that I'm able to spend time with my family and my elderly parents, my aging parents. But I also realized that I felt guilty, to be honest, at the beginning, because when I was working at housing, I knew that I was giving back to the community. I knew I was housing homeless people in risk of homelessness, and, you know, elderly people, Aboriginal people, people on the poverty line. And then when I moved to the interior design space, I thought, this is such a shallow industry. Am I even helping anyone? And so I found my middle by aligning with St. Vincent de Paul, and I fit out group homes for battered women.
Mhm.
So I'm still doing what I love, but I'm giving back. And that, when I did those projects last year, I made me feel more aligned with my values. And so now I'm trying to find, just to shift my model. I'm still going to do the styling of my business, but I'm going to like pivot and try to move into the, you know, I do work for like special disability accommodation groups,
Mhm.
where we style homes for like display units for disabled people, so that they can just, you know, with private developments, they'll buy, say, 10 units in one massive complex,
Mhm.
and then they need to have a display unit. So I've been doing that, and I find myself living more of the charged life, because then I feel like I'm giving back still, but still in my design space. So I'm much happier.
Mhm. Yes, very nice. So living more congruent with your values.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, this is the journey. When we grow, you know, the more and more we kind of dig deeper into our values, and I think you've been talking about the purpose and the meaning of life. So it's all kind of tells a story to others that this is your life. This is why you've done it. Wonderful. Barbara, would you like to share? We can't hear you.
I would like to acknowledge you first for the wonderful shares. They are really, really deep and show what kind of people we have here. Now, I don't think I am there yet, and my focus will be on meaning making, so I can make whatever, bring closer whatever I'm doing into my emotions, so make it one. Because I think I'm still working at two levels, and I do shun away from people. So combining the two is a big effort still to do.
Beautiful. Okay, you'll find I love that share, because it's consistent. You've been talking about touch to getting in touch with your emotions for a while, and this is your project. We understand that, we support it, and that's part of living a charged life. Yeah. So let's move to the next step, because the next step is basically how we can maintain. This is the framework, the actual framework of charged life. So there are 10 drives, and 5 drivers are basic. It's like a baseline, and then the next one are the forward ones. So let's just cover those quickly. We won't be going deep into them. I just want to flag them, and you're welcome to maybe go to the book and explore this a little bit more. I'm moving you on the other side. So the first one is control, and the control it's twofold. So one is, we want to have a control of our thoughts and emotions, and we want to master that. And that's very important because people get lost in the thinking, or people get, we can get overwhelmed with anger or with emotions, and suddenly the anger comes out and we don't know why it kind of acted that way, and we feel guilty. So we want to take control of our thoughts and emotions. And at the same time, there's another control that we want to control everything around us. And this is something that we should rather let go. And let go into the way that we don't want to control everyone around us. We want to sort of participate and be open and be more flexible, but at the same time, have a choice in our decisions, how we're going to play with that. So it's choice about us rather than having control of others. And so the soul work that I suggest you do is one of the many, is have a daily reflection and capture your thoughts and emotions. And I've heard it many times from Brendon Burchard. He does it all the time. He's very, he's got very deep education in the psychology of people. And so the reason he explained, the reason you write this down is because you can actually notice a pattern. So if some thoughts are coming back, some emotions are coming back, you can actually realize that this is a pattern. Okay, maybe I need to work on that. And so be more conscious when I'm in a situation and this thought is coming, and how do I react and so forth. So I thought that was valuable to know. So I suggest you kind of observe your own thoughts and emotions. Now the second one is competence. This one's pretty straightforward, but just to be long life learner. And when we expand our skills, everything is changing because we become confident and happier. And life is about being happy. And so I won't elaborate on that anymore. You all know that. The soul work that I would recommend to do is, and I think Anna mentioned slightly about this, is just to basically have reflect on what is future me, my future identity, who do I want to be, and start to think, what skills do I need, and put those skills on your program, on your roadmap, so you can consciously bring that identity, the future identity, closer to now. And next one is congruence. And with the congruence, what came to my mind when I was writing that is, I've seen many professional people in my life, and I've seen many of them very frustrated. And the frustration was coming in different ways, right? And so I assumed that there is a dream inside, but then everyone has values and so forth, but they haven't actually discovered what it is. And they were living, pleasing other people around, and they were doing things which were outside what they wanted to do. And so congruence is basically really having a close look at what is important to me, understanding my value. That's number one. And the next one is having that purpose. What do I actually want to create? And start to question, am I doing what I'm doing in line with what my values are? And so therefore we start to have more control on those frustrations. So the soul work that I would recommend here is to reflect on your own values, what's important in your life. And so you can then start living more congruent. Next one is caring. And that one's also important because a couple of you mentioned about being able to give and also being able to receive. So, so know how, who do I care about, and who cares about you, and start to notice that, because when we have that capacity of being able to care about someone and being able to receive the care from someone, so ask for feedback and receive the comment, this is our human strength, because we are connected and we grow that way. Because I like that sentence, if we almost anything that we desire from others can be given to us if we demonstrate caring. Look at your own lives. It's probably happening every day. So the soul work that I would recommend is that, you know, have a reflection. Is there someone in your life that needs caring? And the last one is connection. So our universe that we're living in is made of others. And our big need, human need, is to feel connected. And so, you know, let's be connected, notice other people and be with them. So the soul work that I will recommend is send a message to someone you haven't spoken with for quite a while. Send them the short message that you're thinking about them. It doesn't have to be an elaborate message. It's just that, you know, you're living a busy life, but the mind, the thought of them cross your mind, and see what will happen. Okay, the next one, I think I'm just... Okay, so the next one is the charged life. It's for the charged life, the next series of 5, there are forward drivers. And these forward drivers are change, challenge, creative expression, contribution, and consciousness. So we have a biological need for change, because that's one of our needs to grow. And so we all need to change constantly in some of our areas. And even though, you know, we know that time to time we want to sit comfortably. So, but if we stay too long, we're not going to grow. So just be familiar and practice change. The next was a challenge. And I believe that that one is huge, because through challenge, we grow. You know, if we take a challenge, it seems impossible, it's hard, we haven't got the courage, we haven't got the confidence to do it, but it's a challenge that will take us to the next level. You know, there's some stories from past successful people I heard. It's about, you know, don't be afraid of failure. So just count your failures, because every failure is a stepstone to your success, basically. And the challenges stimulate our beliefs and expand our mental capacity. We learn to focus and we grow. Now, another one, creative expression. That one is, it's a life force. And it's going back to what I said, I mentioned before, is that everyone is a unique. And we have responsibility to express ourselves. So we shouldn't be just sitting at the back of the office and doing something. We need to think about that there is something that if we keep developing ourselves, we connect. Andrea has to go. Bye. Bye, Andrea. Have a great night. And I hope all the best for your daughter tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Good night, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So with the creative expression, it's like we shouldn't be suppressing it. We should be developing and expressing, you know, what is that we're about to create, and eventually we'll get there. it's very important that we do that. And actually, I read the statistics, and someone said that, you know, about 100 years ago, there was a very little people. It's about 10% of people who were able to express themselves, because majority were working in the factories and so forth. In the last century, the last 50 years, there was the number of people who could create grew, because there was a lot of people who were in professionals, in different experts and different professions, and they were able to creatively express themselves. But now we are stepping into the next level of creative expression, and there were people actually consciously start to understand that there is another level, and those beliefs that only some people can express themselves are being challenged now. And so that will be a huge revolution, I believe, in that area, because we see it around, you know, through social media and other technology, that people are able to express themselves and add to the human lives and human conditions, and improve human lives much faster than we were before. Now, contribution, we've been talking about this, and I had a sentence from Winston Churchill, which I thought I like. We make a living by what we get, but we make life by what we give. That's about contribution. That's how important this is. And the last piece, it's about consciousness. And consciousness is actually quite huge thing. And I love what he was saying about this, because consciousness is very much associated with being alive, because it relates to what we were talking before, because it relates to being conscious about emotions, about our thoughts, about our behaviors, conscious how we are for others, and conscious about our progress, and conscious to be in the moment, or even conscious about our own intuition. And that's being alive. When we actually look at our own resources, we dig deep into our own library, and being able to say, oh, okay, I'm conscious about that. I know why is that, rather than waiting for someone to tell us constantly what we should be thinking and what we should be feeling. How's that resonate with all of you? I know it's a lot. And I very recommend to go into the book, and there are a number of exercises that you can do. But the last thought, actually, I haven't shared that. Last thought that I had here. The chart. Oh no, the next slide. That should be this one. Okay, I know what I'm making here. The charged life demands us to shift into a higher gear of thinking by better control of dashboard of our consciousness. I thought that was pretty deep thought. Now, as a success work for you, and if you have time, we can do here, or if you want to take it with you. There are 3 tasks that I want you to have a look at and maybe think about. A clear and bold new change I could make in my life would be, because remember those little prompts, if you send those prompts into your mind, those magic moments will come. A clear and bold new change I could make in my life would be, you could finish a sentence. The 30-day challenge I could set for myself include to show more of me and express myself more creatively at home and at work. I will. Has anyone got some ideas before we go? that they like to share?
Yes, I think for me, if I work sort of backwards, I think I'm not good on social media, but I think if I was to psychologize myself, because I need to post more, but I think, and Yolanta knows about this, it's about my imposter syndrome. And I always think, so maybe my work's not good enough and blah, blah, blah. So I'm really going to try to be more present on social media, because usually I just do my own thing and I get really busy. But I think it's, and people do ask me, because they do say they like my posts. So I think really, which is, I think that's quite nice, because at least they're not complaining that I'm on it too much. So I think I'm going to do that. And just like I said, I should take my own advice and just do me, and your people will follow. So I'm really going to try to be more present and just share more of my work.
Beautiful. Yes, I see a lot of posts about the family. You can add more. There is a space for more of your work there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like with my family and my friends, it's a safe space. But I think with my business, that's a public setting. So not that anyone's ever said my work is bad, but I think subconsciously, I think that's why I don't do it.
Oh, dealing with your sabotaging thoughts or
Yes.
your imposter syndrome.
Perhaps, possibly, probably.
Probably. So can you put it in a different way? How are you going to express yourself more creatively?
Well, I'm actually going to try different. I've got a new team, so I'm going to create some similar Zoom calls like this, and we're just going to, I'll say to my girls, just give me ideas, anything, let's just throw anything on the table, and we'll just brainstorm it. And I'll also delegate and just remember that I'm not alone, that I do have different avenues that I can get inspiration from.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Anna. Good luck with this. And
Thank you.
You can always go. Have you used ChatGPT or AI?
Yes, I did a post the other day, and I actually used ChatGPT, but I obviously rewrote it. But it was a good starting point, and I said to myself, why didn't I do this before?
Yes.
Because it wasn't as hard as I thought.
Yes, it's quite easy, and I say treat it as a conversation. So
yes,
so you have a buddy who is, you throw the idea at
exactly
the AI, and it comes with something else. It's, oh, you surprised me.
Exactly. And Sal says, you're right like that anyway. So just change it around a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Thanks. Anyone else would like to make some commitments?
Yes, I'll share. I actually like the quote, we make a living from what we get and we make a life from what we give. That's a great motto for me to move forward. And on ChatGPT, I think it's great. It gave me a good advice. We have been talking for a long time, and then I asked ChatGPT to summarize what we were talking about. And it said, before it gave me the summary, we talked about Mount Everest and bananas, and then gave me the points, which I thought was a great feedback on clarity of what I was trying to get. So it's a good friend.
A good friend. Yes, I find AI as a good friend as well. Sometimes I said, no, I disagree with you. Give me something else.
Someone to disagree with.
Yes. All right. So your bold change, what was the bottom line? What are you going to change?
Well, give more. So I actually don't, I do come here and I do talk to other people, but I am very reluctant to, and I have got a website, Facebook, and I get a lot of stuff there, but I rarely write myself. So that's what I need to do and call it giving, right? So some value.
Okay, fantastic. So you're gonna do more posting as well,
I will do more value.
more creativity. You will be
More
expressing
creative.
yourself.
That's right. Yes.
And ads, which direction are you going?
I think for me, Holanta, is that creating more network here in Brisbane, because Tim was saying, like, I feel like I have limited friends compared to what Tim has built. Like, he's got several several groups that he, like, now he's got maybe five groups that he's attend or connecting with, and for me it's like I'm limited to five Filipinos in my network, and then some other friends are still in Sydney. So maybe just being out there, being like open to new network of friends, or even just fellow like-minded people who's into that space of personal development, business building, or business networking. So I think I have to be more out there.
Mm-hmm.
Think.
And are you going to do what? Attend some events? How are you
Yeah,
going to
something
do
like
that?
that. Like maybe just putting on my calendar, like looking out for activities or events that I could network in terms of, like in an educational space, like what I did last month, right? Like networking with the crewing with the Robert Kiyosaki event, something
Mhm.
like that. At least um, it's all about personal development, and like with like-minded people or like-minded individuals, like what we do now, which is just virtually, but that's more on a person-to-person
Mm.
activity.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you had benefits out of that.
Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Lanta.
And
It's a
remember
good
that you are
topic.
enough.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
And I'm looking forward to see you again in 2 weeks' time. Have a great 2 weeks.
Happy Anzac Day in advance.
Happy Anzac Day as well. Thank you, guys. It's great
Thank you.
to
Thank you
see you.
for reaching out, Yolanta.
Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah.
send
Glad it
you.
went.
I'm gonna
See,
send you the list of
yes.
of,
Our
of
next
things,
chat on Monday. Yes.
and we'll chat on Monday.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Stop share. I think I have to stop share.